on listening mode. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are live.
All right. Hi, guys. Welcome to a Blab with Cyber Nerds. This is Muzahirk with
Mr. JiCanWin.
Mr. Blitztek.
And Geek in suit.
and today we're going to discuss Batman vs. Superman. There's no introduction for this film because I don't think you should need one. If you need an introduction for Batman vs. Superman, go kill yourself. Right. So, Mr. JiCanWin, what are your thoughts, the positives of this film?
Positives. I think there's a lot. I think there's a lot of positives in the movie. I think Bruce Affleck as Batfleck is. I don't want to say he's the best Batman we've seen, but it's an amazing take on both Bruce Wayne and Batman. He makes it his own. It's a totally different Batman that we've seen before. A much brutal one that you can really understand his motivations in the movie. I love that.
Right.
Henry Cavill. I thought Henry Cavill was decent as Superman. Was decent. I thought he was decent as Superman. Lex Luthor was all right as what's his face? Sorry, Jesse Eisenberg was decent as Lex Luthor. But my other positives, visually, it's amazing. I like where they try to go with the movie. Just so everyone knows, this is going to be full spoilers. So if you haven't seen Batman vs Superman, go watch the movie and come back, then watch this video. So, I really liked what they tried to do. They tried to do something that we've never seen. They killed Superman, and even though they kind of whimpered out of it and tried to show that he may be coming back or whatever, I felt like they tried to do it. So I thought that was good. What else?
They had to do it.
I'll stick with that. They were my positives from the movie. World building, excuse me. I think the world building was great. It didn't feel shoehorned into me. It felt like it was necessary and needed. I loved Wonder Woman in it. I liked that we got that futuristic part where we saw the Flash. And I liked them trying to set up Aquaman and Cyborg as well.
Right. Mr. Blitztek, how about you?
Yeah, I like the casting as well. I think Ben Affleck has made a great Batman, a great Bruce Wayne. I like the way him and his relationship between Alfred, which is played by Jeremy Irons. I think he really makes a good Alfred. I think what we saw from Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, pretty good. I didn't really think she'd be a good Wonder Woman, so we have to see in her next, her own solo movie, how well she performs. Henry Cavill still doing a good job as Superman. You know, can't complain about him too much. Yeah, so Zack Snyder being a director, obviously does action sequences super good. So anything that was a throwdown, the fights, the action sequences, I was never disappointed. When Batman was in his little Batmobile doing the chase down scene, I thought that was really good. The sequence where Batman's taking out all those thugs and stuff, that was probably one of the best fight scenes I've seen in American cinema compared to stuff like The Raid. I thought that was just amazing. I was just like, shit's going down right now. And
wow, you've chucked The Raid in, so that's a big say to compare it to The Raid.
Yeah, I know exactly compared to The Raid, but it still doesn't quite touch it, but you could just see everything throwing down. So everything was just going down. You could see it all going down really well. And yeah, almost like the universe coming together for DC. I think, yeah, that was all right. To do with the Batman vs Superman throwdown as well. I enjoyed that. So those are my positives from the movie.
How about you, Geek in a Suit?
Well, I'll start off. I think the thing I liked the most was the dialogue between those three. So Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman. But without the costumes, as normal people, they were the best. I think that's the best part of the movie was when they weren't in costume. They hit points throughout the movies that I think is really, really relevant. Left a lot of options for the upcoming movies. For example, when we talk, there's one bit when Batman is talking to Alfred, and he's talking about good guys, that 20-year guys that were good 20 years ago, and then now where, like, you know, he puts a question out, where are they? That's taking that dig at, you know, the red cape guy. So I love stuff like that. I think that was the best Batman in terms of Batman. That was the best. I wouldn't say that's the best Batman. I would say that's the best Bruce Wayne. Well, I love Alfred. He was drinking. Bruce Wayne drove him to drink. I like that. What else? I love the Flash. Again, the Flash coming to the screen left things open as well, which I'm kind of wondering, injustice? Maybe a bit too soon they put it out there when he's talking about you was right. But then again, you get the, what's it called? What's the Russian symbol called? Oh, my goodness. The Syndicate. Yeah. Oh, okay. Which you kind of like. So you kind of get a bit of mix, because you also get the dark side bits there as well. So they kind of like playing a bit with both, which I like that, because, you know, they have options basically. I think one of the main things I liked in this movie was the options they left open. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's one of the things that that really pushed me to give more points to this movie.
Right.
Listening to what Raven had to say, reminded me of a couple things. The dynamic between Ben Affleck and Jeremy Irons as Bruce Wayne and Alfred is the best dynamic you've ever seen between a Batman, a Bruce Wayne, and an Alfred ever before. Like, hands down. The reason I'm glad Raven brought this up, the dynamic between them is so amazing. The dynamic shows how each of them pulls each other's strings. Yeah, there's one scene where Ben Affleck, Bruce Wayne has a nightmare, wakes up, goes, he picks up a glass of red wine and starts drinking it straight away. Yeah, the next scene, Alfred walks in and he's like, I hope the next generation of Waynes don't inherit an empty cellar. And then he's like, if there is going to be one. And it's like, and then you see this, I don't think many people picked it up, but Bruce passes Alfred a cup of tea. Like, Bruce Wayne's bringing Alfred tea. Like, I know people might overlook that, but it's just like, that's how the dynamic is. It's not I'm a butler, I'm gonna look after you. It's like a brother in arms kind of thing. Like, he's not his dad anymore. He's a grown man, and so's he. And these two work together for their common goal. It's something they believe in. And I think Jeremy Irons is amazing. He's the best part. He's the best single character to me in the movie. Like, his portrayal of Alfred is amazing.
See, what I'm getting from what you guys is the first thing that you've all mentioned is Batman, right? And this was initially meant to be a Superman film. So Batman has taken the limelight.
As usual.
No, see, I disagree. The reason I disagree is because, first of all, I think you said the question wrong. They said they was going to release Man of Steel 2, but that turned into Batman vs Superman.
It changed.
And I don't think that Batman has taken the limelight. I think that you have to if you're introducing Batman, a lot of the talking is going to be about him, just because we've already got a movie where we spoke about Superman the whole time.
Yeah,
if you get what I'm saying.
Right,
so we want to see what's new.
Can I just
say that makes sense?
I forgot to put it out.
You're going.
I love the open scene.
Okay, why is that?
Again? It was perfect, because it's almost like they gave you, like they gave us a different angle of what was left off Superman, and that played a massive part on how Bruce felt. towards Superman. I think that was really important, and I just loved seeing that Bruce Wayne. I don't think we've ever seen a Bruce Wayne in action like that. So I love him just seeing that and just taking that in. It took that in, and that just made everything, better as a Batman. So,
see, it's crazy that I didn't. It's crazy that I didn't watch this movie originally with Raven, because the Raven's hitting on, or Geek in the Suit's hitting on all the points that I love as well. I love Man of Steel. So when I saw like a 5-minute segment of Man of Steel from Bruce Wayne's perspective, mind blown. Because, and I like what you said about we've never seen Bruce Wayne in action like that. They caught Bruce Wayne in a point where it didn't matter whether he had the bat suit on or not.
Right.
It was time for action, and he had to go. And I love that. That was amazing as well. That's a great point.
Right, so moving on to the next bit. What are the negatives?
Start with me. All right, so my negatives for the movie, my main gripes with the movie are everything behind the cameras. I think the editing of the movie is abysmal. Like, it's very bad. So you'll be in one scene, like the Metropolis scene with Bruce Wayne, and then they just jump cut to something completely different, and then there'll be 15 minutes of action, and then they'll jump cut to someone talking somewhere else. Like, it's very jarring, and it's like they don't ease you into staying with the plot, and I think that's going to be a lot of people's problems with it. It's like the movie just jumps all over the place. I know there's a lot of things happening, but I felt like they could have told it in a better way. Also, the storytelling in the movie is bad. So much stuff in this movie doesn't need to be in there. Like, some story threads and story plots go nowhere, which is really annoying to me. Like, they start off the movie with this whole Africa incident where Superman goes to Africa, takes out a warlord, then the rebels come in and kill a whole bunch of people, then the government come in and kill the rebels. The story plot actually goes nowhere. I see they wanted to give Lois Lane something to do, so they introduced this story plot, and people are going to say, oh, Joe, you're not seeing what's going on. I understand what's going on. They wanted Lois Lane to have something to do, so they introduced this story plot so she could find a bullet, what then leads on to her finding out about Lex Luthor later on in the movie. I understand that. But at the same time, it's not needed. The reason they should have been taking Superman to court in the movie is because of what happened in Man of Steel, not because of this incident that happened in Africa. But in this, if Lex Luthor had to cut his hand to make it Abomination, if he only used Zod's DNA, it would have been Zod. We've already seen that. That's why they added that. So I don't think it's necessarily like a cheap Superboy, because Superboy is made of Superman's DNA
yeah, exactly.
and Lex's DNA. This is Zod and Lex's, which makes an abomination. Do you know what I'm saying? In Doomsday.
Not really, because it's a Kryptonian and a human blood. It's the same thing. Superman and Zod have the same blood, don't they?
But that's like saying two people having a child, a mixed race child, one black person, one white person, they're all the same. That your argument's invalid.
It's two aliens and a human.
You're making like a generic thing. It doesn't. Not everyone's the same.
To me, like I said, obviously, like maybe because I took it more of the comic.
Yeah, you took it too literal.
It didn't feel right. It didn't fit in right.
Okay,
you know what I mean? And like I said, like to me, Doomsday should not have been in this movie. Sorry, like Doomsday changed a lot of things. So when Doomsday came into the comics, like now Doomsday gets killed and you're like, oh, Doomsday's dead. There wasn't that impact to me. So I hate it. Doomsday should not have been in this movie. Sorry, no. It's to me it was the wrong approach to have those three in. I picked up quite a few things from different comics that they've mashed up, but it just wasn't executed well enough. I'm not saying they couldn't have not done it, because some of the things I liked was from that, but the execution behind it wasn't great. So,
Mr. Blitztek, do you want to give your negatives?
What I really didn't like about the movie was, well, one of them was Lois Lane. God knows how she gets everywhere when she doesn't need to be, especially like in the final act. God knows what she's even doing there. Like, that's what really frustrates me. Like, I don't mind Amy Adams. I don't mind the way she's portraying her, but the way she's always written into the story to be in these set pieces, I don't know, to feel important or something, is just annoying as whatever. The way they shoehorned or the cameos of the Justice League, I feel like that wasn't even really important. Like, to put that on the laptop in an email and Batman's like, oh, I know who you are and we need to find the other metahumans. Even Batman saying that isn't real. I know this is a different Batman, a different take on Batman, but even Batman saying we're going to need to assemble like the other metahumans. Batman always works alone, apart from obviously his Bat family. But when he said that, I was like, that is super strange for him to say that. Like, he actually wants to work with another bunch of people. Yeah, I was like, well, okay, if you want to do that, that's cool. But yeah, I thought the plot and the storytelling in this movie was god awful. The editing was out of place. Like, you just suddenly like be in one section of the movie, right, and then blam, you're just into a dream sequence. I was like, okay, they're doing that. Okay, I know where I'm now. And then suddenly, before you know, the dream sequence has ended, and suddenly you're back elsewhere. And then they did this Inception inside an Inception thing where Batman or Bruce Wayne was dreaming about the dark side coming to like invade Earth, and Superman's like turned evil. And then you get the Flash coming through the boom tube saying, "Oh, you need to like, you're right about Superman. You need to stop him." And then he wakes up again. So it's almost like, was that a dream within a dream in a dream? Like, that was really confusing to me. And at the end, where he had the conversation with Lex, that just everything just like was all over the place for me. I just didn't like the way they did it.
Right.
Really
so,
confusing.
We've got the good, and we've got the bad. So what I want to ask you guys now, starting with Mr. JiCanWin, where would you recommend this film? Like, where's your rating according to our system?
The thing is, I think this movie is a must-see.
Right.
The reason I think this movie is a must-see is because, everyone, hear me out. The reason the movie is a must-see is not because the movie is great. Because no, it's not a great movie, but this is Batman and Superman on screen together for the first time ever in the history of life. Since we was born, since we knew anything, we wanted to see this.
Yeah.
When we was 6 and 7 years old playing with toys that came out of Kellogg's cornflakes boxes, we had Superman, we had Batman, and we was doing this with them. That's why you must see this movie. It's like Star Wars. This is an event. Like, you need to see this movie. It's not a great movie, but you need to see it. The next movie that comes out, I might be like, you don't need to see it if it's not a good movie. But this is a movie that you must see. I would recommend it. I'd recommend it to everyone and say it's a movie you must see, and then judge it later. But I think it's a must see, not because it's a good movie, because it's Batman vs Superman.
How about you, Blitztek?
For me, I think it's watchable. Like, just to see it for the first time, like I said, it's Batman vs Superman. Like, you should go see it. I don't really recommend it. Like, for comic book fans, I'd say you should go see it. For the average moviegoer, in fact, I think they might even enjoy it even more for less expectations and stuff. But for me, it's just a watchable movie.
What about BAFTA nominee people?
The what, sorry?
People that have been nominated for BAFTAs, do you recommend they go see it?
Nah, I don't think it's for them. Shout out to Pio. I don't think it's for them. Nah.
Right. Geek in a suit. How about you?
I am 100% with Mr. JiCanWin.
Right.
I think he said it all. It's just one of those things you have to watch. You cannot stay on the side and judge the movie. You have to be there. You have to go through, through the emotions. You have to you know, see what's going on. And then there'll be things that you like that some people might not like. You know, some people hate Lex Luthor. I like that Lex Luthor. You know what I mean? So it's just how you're going to take that movie in, and you have to be there. Go buy your ticket, or if you have your unlimited card like we do, then you're in there twice, 3 times. You know, shout out to the unlimited team. But yeah, it's a must. It's a must see.
Right. So to sum up, I want all you guys to just say briefly what you think of the film. You know, like say one brief sentence how you describe the film. Mr. JiCanWin.
Batman vs Superman it's a must-see movie that's not great. If you're a casual moviegoer, you'll probably really enjoy this movie. If you're a hardcore comic book nerd, there's a lot in this movie that you need to see, and there's going to be a lot that you're not going to be happy about. But I think it's a good movie. I'll be getting it on Blu-ray.
Blitztek.
For me, I think it's a beautiful mess. Like, it's really pleasing to see, but it doesn't come together really, really well. And it's a shame to see, but at the same time, I'm not saying it's a must-see, but yeah, I say go see it and see how ugly it is. At the same time, it is nice to watch.
Geek in the suit.
I'm trying to put this movie in a very few words. No, I feel it's just one of those. Man,
So basically, you're speechless about the film.
I guess so. That's it.
Right.
Which is
So-
not feeling a good way.
To sum up, Batman vs Superman, guys, is a must-see film. It's a beautiful mess. If you're a hardcore fan, you'll love it for some bits, but you'll hate it for most bits. And if you're a casual moviegoer, you're going to be, oh my God, did you see that? Peace out, everyone.
Till next time.
Guys, thanks for watching. You can follow me at JiCanWin on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
You follow me, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Mr. Blitztek.
Catch me tweeting on at CMC _GS.
And you can catch me on Twitter, Muzahirk, and on Instagram, Slaying People.
And you can follow our whole team on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at the Cyber Nerds. All right, guys. Thanks
For watching.
Peace.